You have to learn what are your spouse's likes and dislikes. And don't question them. Beth has a particular song that a lot of times when it comes on the radio, she'll hear that thing come on the radio. And I've learned this. As a matter of fact, it didn't take me but one time to learn it. That song comes on and we turn it off. Now I know y'all want to know what the song is, but I'm going to tell you. But it's by Freddie Feelgood and his funky little 5-piece band. Okay. So this song comes on, and the first time it happened, she said, "I don't like that song. Get that off there." Matter of fact, I think I didn't even have the opportunity. She was getting it off as she was telling me. I thought, Now see, I didn't ask why, but I sure did log it. And whenever that song comes on, I get it off because I don't want to. So learn how to, don't sit down and say, okay, we need to have a meeting. Why does this song bother you so much? Let's go back and relive what effect this song had. Don't do that. If they say they don't like it, don't like it. It's like she doesn't like chicken livers. I don't require her to like chicken livers. I like chicken livers. She doesn't. I can safely say, with all sincerity and honesty, that she has never fixed chicken livers for me. Matter of fact, the only time I get chicken livers is if we go out somewhere and get them. And sometimes these truck stops have the best chicken, but that's another story for me. Right next to the sushi. Man, you want good sushi, get it at a truck stop. I'm just kidding about that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That'll be bad. That'll be bad for you. So you think now my wife, in case see y'all, if you're not around us a whole lot, she's really smart, really smart, but we think differently about things. We go every Sunday, or just about every Sunday. We have a Mexican restaurant that we like to go eat. And the reason that we go eat there is because Mexican is her comfort food. If she's not feeling well, if her stomach's bothering her or something like that, we go eat Mexican. I know that sounds weird. It's just her comfort food. We did it after we'd go diving. Whenever we'd go diving, is there a Mexican restaurant down here? Honey, we're down here where there's seafood. Is there a Mexican restaurant? So so we go eat Mexican after, and so we pulled out of there one day. We're in her vehicle, and we pull out, and we pull up to the traffic light, and I looked at the car sitting next to us, and I said, "That is a pretty red color. I like that red." And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "And I like the red of my truck." Now I have a truck. I have a Ford F-150, and it's in ruby red. I call it the crimson blur. So it's in ruby red. Now I have a Ford F-150. I like it. It's a really nice truck. And my wife, she won't let me get a uterus truck. Y'all know what a uterus truck is? This is going to change it. From this day forward, every time you see one of these trucks, you're going to, yep, that's a uterus truck. We pulled up one day. We pulled up behind a truck, and on the back windshield, it had like one of those screen prints on the back windshield. And Beth said, "What's that uterus doing on the back windshield?" What? Yeah. She thought it was a gynecologist driving the truck. She said, "Is that doctor advertising?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "That truck's sitting right in front of it. It's got a uterus on the back windshield." Honey, that's a Dodge Ram. It's a ram head. She said, "No, it's not. It's a uterus." And I thought that was so silly. And I looked at that and I went, doggone, that does look like a uterus. From now on, when you pull up behind one of those vehicles, you're going to go, "Uterus truck." So I don't care how good a deal they got on those. I'm not driving one. I'm not going to have her thinking. So we're driving along, and so I said, "That is a pretty red vehicle right there." And I said, "And of course, I like the red on my truck. I like the red." So we're driving a little further, and I said, "And Nissan makes a pretty red." She said, "I can't see what you're pointing to." Nissan makes a pretty red vehicle. I can't see what you're pointing to. Okay, now let me help you. Let me stop right here. Husbands, one of the things I've learned over the years, saying the same thing over doesn't help. Saying the same thing over louder doesn't help. If they didn't get it the first time, unless they just physically didn't hear you, repeating the same thing, you're going to gain no ground. As a matter of fact, you're about to get into an argument. So I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? Beth, do you see any cars on the road? She said, yes. How many cars do you see? She said, 2. I said, is one of them red? She said, yes. Then which one do you think I'm talking about? She said, I didn't know that was a Nissan. Now, I'll pause here for just a minute and let you choose sides. Okay? And I thought that was so sick. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, neither one of us were wrong. She wasn't wrong. She just looked at it for some... The fact that I had brought up the red color, for some reason, had gone in the breeze. And as soon as I said the word Nissan, she focused in on the make and model. She focused in on the Nissan part. Now see, if there'd have been a uterus truck out there, we wouldn't have had this problem. You see the uterus truck up there? She said, yes, that gynecologist again, he's got a new vehicle. So your spouse thinks differently. They think different. It doesn't mean they're wrong. Just because you do something different doesn't mean one's right and one's wrong. Okay? We do things differently.